Please come over here. Other people see that, but they are helpless. I can't believe that the old man is also hateful. Later, at the Palace of the Black Heaven, a reverent voice echoed, "Try to sit." Everyone in the black sky, all the attention on the old school CA. The father of the Black Falcon, defeated by you in a note. Inevitable anger in my heart. For better or for worse, we are the best. But it's suppressed in the blink of an eye. But on the outside, he tried to look normal. Go get some tea, Mr. Cho. She immediately obeyed the old man. She quickly poured hot tea into the cup. Give me a cup of tea. The owner invites me to tea. Ka asked you what your name was. She closed her mouth and replied, the owner of the Black Swan Black Pearl. He took a sip of tea and said, yes. You are also a wise guide. The rest of us just keep quiet in our hearts. A little alien boy, but also dare to make the noble student of our tribe serve. I don't know, why does the old man wear such a ring again? Surprise the elder and the elder of the black sky. The people shouted at us to consult the owner. Black stands from a distance, not as bad as the jade. He is the warrior of our black eagle. How can I serve tea with water? I tried to put the tea down on the table. Then speak softly. I know in your heart you hate me. I hate not being able to. You raise your index finger, point to one side and say, for example, that you have. You just name it. It scared the Black Ming to the point of sweating. Then you point your hand at someone else. And also tell you. Then there's just one more person and you. You just finished. They've been pushed away by one of your tricks. CA's face was filled with color. From threatening me. I hope you remember, those who commit suicide are the worst. The elder and ancestor of the black sky, they all show fear. They drop their heads to the ground, begging the master to be less angry. I hope the owner is less angry. My people are willing to surrender to the owner. When you hear that, you just answer well. But don't worry, try to be peaceful. I really don't like killing. As long as you are loyal, I will help you swallow one. There's no problem with the old fairy race. Your words made them fall apart immediately. Thank you, master. We wait for the master's orders. Later, CA school with Black Jade on the way up the mountain. The red clouds surrounded by thunder and lightning. Suddenly, he called her name Black Pearl. She replied to the owner, he continued. I see you are also quite sensitive. Later, you will help me. Let's collect the 10 primates of the gods. I just heard this word. I can't help but make her a little nervous. The pride in the heart. She couldn't avoid it. I'm afraid he wants to. You seem to know what she's thinking. I immediately explained. After this mess, the passage of the 6 fairies can no longer be closed. It'll be a comfortable, warm bed. It seems that the Black Pearl understood what you meant. Be quick to respond to the master assured. Ngok will do his best. When I went up high, she solved the phenomenon in front of her master. This is reincarnation radio. Normally, only the elders have high spiritual practice. You can feel the magic of it. This law, eyes of the school CA, suddenly, there was a white air. I quietly reread that name. Reincarnation in the heart of thought. This is the cycle of force, of course. Suddenly, I took out something. Then you put it on the ground. Suddenly, there's something tricky going on. That's why the Black Jade startled. This is the first time we've seen the reincarnation. The jade vase that you took out this new. Flying through the air. It draws the black clouds in. The Black Jade saw that, then exclaimed in his heart. The elders can only grasp the power. I can't believe he swallowed it directly. She didn't notice that. The birthmark on the CA's forehead is absorbing magic power. I laughed at the thought. Even if my soul is destroyed, it is also present in this half-life cycle. Like that, see, there are more tricks to save my life. Next, you have to hold on to the power of heaven. And then suddenly, there's a stick hitting the ground. Chief of the distant tribe announced, "The Black Eagle bastard is stealing my seal. To stay in this reincarnation has been discovered." What did his people panic about when they heard that? He looked at his people. He ordered them to go and summon the people and say, "We have something to discuss." Kier immediately obeyed the order. Yes. He stood there for a long time. Then ponder. Now the ancient fairies are boiling outside the world, constantly surrendering. Our people have to think of a way to save ourselves in this chaos. Somewhere else, the old man is watching. The image is projected above. He pointed to the old school CA image and scolded Kier. "You see it as extremely cruel. He's forcing that old heirloom down the road." Nam-sun walked up and said, "It's my great-grandfather's unicorn, after all. There's nothing strange about this little trick." The old man had never seen that name, but it's no stranger to his tricks. The old man inquired, "With the power of your brother. Next, we're going to turn all the clans up." When I asked Han, Nam-sun replied, "Our master was raped in the process of training." The old man should not be involved in SAO. The elder heard that. Immediately raised the issue of inappropriate. "But you are the ancestor of the great patriarch of the lake. It's clear that he's planning on doing something with the fairies." Nam-sun tried to take away his words. "Don T talked too much and Don T stopped me. He is the owner of my house." He bared his yellow teeth, and then continued in a threatening way. "How to be an old man. Let the rest of the tribe happen." The old man was silent for a moment, and he laughed and said that, "I'm just scratching this old man. Let's go on a trip with him." The big ships, giant monster, and the horsemen came out of the magic ring. In the air, everyone is paying attention to it. Two people flying in the sky. The old man glanced behind him and reported to everyone in the god's realm. "Not expected. That's how much the mayor values this." Nam-sun laughed and replied, "This is not the old man's arrangement. They're reinforced school CA. Use your absence to ask Sai to make it." When he heard that, he asked the chief. Nam-sun laughed and said, "Sao, I see you as more important than my father." The most moving of that man. Great elder, swipe show. What to say? He is also a descendant of Tian 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 Tian. I am a choice to be the master of the afterlife. Of course, I should be more concerned. Nam-sun tried to laugh. All right, so let's go." Transfer scene 2. IP Liu glass with IP Tien Bao glass. Celebrate with the chief. He quickly told the two of them. The story of the tribe is clear. Next time in this place. It's where the directions converge. No one can avoid it. The old man asked, "So our experience is over?" He immediately replied, "No, I am responsible for your safety. The ancient fairies raped people too much. Too time, let them know the power of our ancient Thai ancestors." IP Liu La answered the urge. This time first ancient clans, mainly aimed at the lack of owners of reinforced. We are not SAO, but they don't dare to be too insolent. If you hear that, just laugh. I tell you not to underestimate his heart. If not, ask him to plan. Then, it's very difficult for us to have an excuse for Chen to get involved in this. But at this point, the devil understands the problem. It turns out, that's it. I understand, parents. There's a way to make people stop complaining. He looked at the big ships and said, "You guys, you don't have to worry about the safety of the school. The eternal life tries to react very quickly. I heard it was very angry. It was wrong for a powerful force to pursue. This time, I'm afraid we're in danger. But also thanks to the blessings of the old school CA, I have received a portion of the word from above. These 6 ancient fairies, somewhere else, everybody's panicking. With the scene in front of me, that's the Thai sun Gaya. Go quickly to this evil seed. Why do you also come to the ferry to have fun?" A dumbfounded man said, "I remember the power behind the missing Ra. It seems to be the Taishan ghost." When the bearded man heard that, he panicked. The ancient fairies of those tribes will meet their ears. Now, the CA is looking at the purple feathers. And then I realized the 100 mountains. I figured I wasn't hiding out there. I'm sure it's about time for the genie to come out. This woman is going to eat alone. But if there is no, I want to know the land of the fairies. I'm afraid I have to wait until it shows up. If you lose that, you lose the chance to win first. Suddenly, I gave an order. Don't let others know. I came to the Black Pearl and immediately obeyed. Yes, master. Try to punish CA sinister-thinking Min. You are my blessing. Right now, Moon Ming is not sitting in the middle of the middle, but focus on cultivation. You suddenly feel a bad sign in your heart. Why is suddenly in a bad mood? Ma Fa, is it still rolling around Moon Ming's body? She was sweating heavily. This scriptural divinity. After helping me, it's perfect. The body must be trained quickly. Just a few hours later. The colorful rays flying in the sky. The moon doesn't seem to feel anything. Someone started my ban. Panicked, she looked to one side and thought. Within 3,000 miles of the Bakhong Sun Circuit, everything is controlled by us. You worry about telling yourself. This oscillation is definitely not wrong with strong breathing. This is how close we are to the enemy. Min did not fly up with his subordinates to observe that. If you see no one else, it is the old school. She was surprised. I can't believe he. One of the subordinates asked her to come. It should be new. She was silent for a moment. Your eyes looked towards the eyes. Then immediately give orders to stop him. But it seems that the two Kier are not very pleased. Blocking the way of the missing Master Ra. Then the blame is also unfair. But in the end, yes. Just watch out for CA pretending to know nothing and laughing. Coincidentally, Min is not here. A subordinate on the Moon Ming side. Not try to reconcile. Missing school owner, CA. This is the assignment of our emperor. The rest of us just think silently. Contradictory wife injured minor. With the situation ahead, I'm still very calm. I must have teased Cho Min not to be angry. I come closer to you. Then he asked me softly, why? Maybe it's not fun. She seemed annoyed to ask the opposite. Why are you here? My Don suddenly felt something strange, so aesthetic. Why does it feel like she has enemies with me? Look at the air rising from above the moon. Doesn't make you a little afraid of people thinking, even murder? On the school side, CA is still trying to talk to his wife. I'm curious why you're here. It seems to take a long time, right? You only answer through me, and the same goal. He suddenly took her hand and happily replied, oh. Then the better. He suddenly brought his face close to her and whispered in a low voice. But the injured woman didn't come to see me. That makes me sad. I was attracted to you, so I called you blushing. I can smell it on your clothes. I was so angry that my clothes smelled of glass. Maybe because of jealousy, so Moon Ming didn't say hard words. You are injured. What does your injury have to do with me? Are we going to beat CA to make sure it's done? But still have to respond unconsciously. Put your hands in front of your waist and think about her. Now, Zoe didn't focus on the main issue. That's right, IP. You are dead. She laughed and replied that he raped her. Let me help you, GAC. He's not rational, he's SAO. When she heard that, she screamed, what did you say? It's called Help Me, GAC. You're obviously targeting his inheritance yourself. I refuse to say that. Without her. I also don't know who that is. Turn around and you have cleaned up the relationship. She was caught in a pot in the head when the word drought. She was angry and chased him and tried to punish CA. Don't blame me. But I still make fun of you. Why is it folding? He is already the emperor. Can you be more mature? The soldiers pretended to cough and told the two to slash. And CA suddenly raised 2 fingers as if to summon something. An item appears in his hand. Not kidding her anymore. This is the god of God's creation. Yumin was not surprised to see it. Thinking in the heart of Bodhicitta Gnosticism, this is the existence to the holy scene must also covet. I can't believe he gave me back. The crime against the human race is also because of me. Maybe he looks uncomfortable, but still holds on to something. I gave it to you. I pretended to ask for a little help. But she froze one without answering. Air Transportation Notification System, female Kai. Zoe didn't think about herself. Attitude to change air transport increased by 2,000. The value of heaven increased by 10,000. He showed a cunning face thinking of her. And CA glanced at Nuyet Min and teased. She seems very pleased with this gift. I was struck by a black heart, so I kept quiet. A moment later, she asked me suddenly, why are you suddenly so kind to me? But she stuttered softly. It was good not to be cold before. Suddenly, he puts his arms out behind her waist. Then he hugged her slim waist. This sudden act of intimacy. Make your face red. And you're laughing and talking. I didn't discover it before. My house is so fascinating. It's not too late to understand now. Tae Nuyet Min did not leave the school and left his followers behind. Come on, let's go see it all. Let's see what this guy has. Go see the owner. My death has gone away. You should immediately signal to others. We're divided up into 4 sides, because the owner and the Ming do not reserve the French Empire. When you fly, you put your feet somewhere. I looked around and said, this layout has been around for a while. See if you can't stop that, she replied. After all, it's a very big thing. Why can't we be careful? You keep talking. Of course, Min doesn't know about fairy spirits. So the first time Lin came out, it's not much different than my guess. This statement at the late CA school did not surprise Nuyet Min. You didn't expect. You are predicting the time of the Elvish. You can't seem to believe it. It can, however. She didn't know he was lying and smiled kindly. When you reach your goal. I mean that, by the way. I can't believe she's so easy to fool. It seems that the spirit is about to appear. The moon doesn't suddenly call your name. Try to punish CA, you quickly answer. You don't hesitate to ask directly. Wait a minute, are you going to throw me aside? Then enjoy yourself alone. This sentence of hers made the CA school have to stop. I questioned you. In her heart is such a man. You answer honestly. No, it's not. He looked at her and said, that's what you want to think. He suddenly turned around and questioned her. Have I done anything to hurt you? Do you need to be on my guard to face such a question? Yumin did not stutter and replied, no. But in my heart, I think, at least not yet. Watch out, CA folded hands look angry. Just go and say, who does not know? I thought before I did something bad to her. You're sweating thoughts. It is also due to my previous life. Then one stabbed me to death. Though I think so, but when I see your attitude, it also makes you a little nervous. But he seems a little angry. That's why. She looked at the shadow of his back and wondered. Maybe it's because we're born. So the calculation of the new CA field has changed. He walked in front of her with anger on his face and thought, it is true that I intend to be alone. But you guessed it. Still say, come out in front of me. I don't need face anymore. Two people walked through a wall. Coughed unintentionally for an hour and then called. I tried to kill you just now. I'm just trying to talk. You're fed butter. Her face became sad. Then you think back at SAO suddenly 7 hopes. Maybe my acceptance isn't just about avenging him. A few minutes later, they went to a gate. The school said that this is heaven. I wonder if you will find it soon. Unfortunately, she has no way to open it. I looked at you and said, if you don't believe me, wait for the fairies to open. Please come in first. Of course, if you're worried, I'll be behind your plan. Then you can choose to follow. You seem to have fallen for his words. I believe you. I am so happy. Then Moon Ming didn't start to be more specific. But there are only 2 ways to open the door. Or wait for it to show itself, or use 6 to open it. Show up at the wrong time. But I'm sure Ancient 6 was in chaos. It will get your attention. Many people fake strong. That opens first 6. So far, we haven't had any news. The teacher was fooled by you laughing cunningly. Then I asked in my heart, how expensive is the first 6 system? A system table appears. I read every word on it. The first open trading system 6 first Van Ancient period. Time of worship. Special use for truck Thong Tien. To start the mortal. Destiny value 180,000. I put my hand on my head. Fortunately, the store system sells 180,000 points of destiny. The price is high, but I think it is high. Will you buy it too? But you can't let the kid catch the wolf. Something happened suddenly. Make Moon Ming not extremely surprised. You can't believe the scene in front of you. Open first 6 stars people have. He pointed to the object flying towards the gate. Then perform magic. We're about to open the fascia. Are you going to come in first, or leave me behind? He laughed and said, the spirit in which we both rely on our bravery. I saw why she was surprised. He always values me. You admit your mistake. I'm not going anywhere. I'm out of Cho. You're not competing with the gods. What about the last word? I'm sorry I misunderstood you. She continued, if you're worried about me being ambushed outside the door, then you can G-acta. Make sure we don't fight back. If I act, I'm not your opponent. It seems that the school feels guilty in her heart. Because my attitude changed, she was nervous. I can't believe you don't care about me like that. He even dropped the name Kier. And it doesn't even take a life. I'm a little touched in my heart. I can't believe she's not like that. The magic is getting stronger. It flies straight into the sky, turned into a gate. Moon Ming is not surprised that the fairies are open. The school suddenly asked her. Sao suddenly has this hidden form. Why do I have to fuck you? Give a reason for your secret. He suddenly shouted, I want to send her EC. I didn't blush and ask why. The school immediately responded. Of course, because she's alive. It's much more effective than death. Your words make you a little sad. She bit her lip and tried to say it calmly. You are so cruel. I ignored her words and jumped inside the gate. Ask if you want to go back inside. She did not answer, but remembered her memory. According to past life memories, open reveal is already close to winning. Only people go on the top to be qualified to walk this path. Exploring the secret of the fairies. The mind of the old school, CA secret tricks there are many. It's probably nothing but will. The moon doesn't just drop its feet to the ground. Scream obnoxious. You ask yourself why I'm worried about him. Miss CA glanced at her. I laughed and thought stupid. And then you went inside, and the guy put his foot on the ground. He looked at the item he was holding on the Ganoderma hand. Can help us break through to any level. The old school CA cunning smile is really worth looking forward to. The fairy right now. He's fighting some kind of monster somewhere. She swung her sword to end the monster. But unfortunately it did. She gets momentum, kicking monster a shot. Make it smash to the ground. At the same time, there's a tree full of thorns suddenly appeared behind her. Since when not? Or another monster hit the first person. Make you fall to the ground. He's waving his stick and screaming. Your head looks at you. It is your honor. And yet, dare GEC his people. Monster straight hand out blow finish. Then go to hell with the earthquake. The child quickly stood up to perform magic. You look like a coward who wants me to be content. 3 talented team. Where did Nam-sun come from? The 3 most beautiful. Your magic power is so strong. Destroy the monster's weapon. It also ends it at the same time. The monster was destroyed by a trick. Before the confusion of the first child, loud voice asked, why do you know the power of God? Nam-sun looked back and laughed at the thought. The first child, God's mercy is upon me. Did you make a shock? His striking yellow teeth silenced her. I just wonder in this world. How long has it been since I brushed my teeth? After an explanation. You just understand. You said you were my father. Your name is Nam-sun. You're laughing and you're right. That's you. I have to trust you. I have to trust you. Nam-sun tried to listen to it. The old man finally came out to relieve the elf. He really is your blood whole. As soon as I saw him, I screamed with joy. Master, why are you here? Nam-sun tried to smile brightly, put on the old man's shoulder and ask, you believe it this time? The first thought. If you are an old man, you must be strong. She immediately knelt down at the top. Please accept a bow from the fairy. Nam-sun laughed and watched. Our fairy is so obedient. The old man was powerless before him, so he was powerless to ask, can you let me out? Nam-sun tried to put 2 hands on him. She softened her voice and comforted the child. Now you have your back. No one will rape you. Even though the name of the old school CA Shitkir, there is no exception. When I first heard that, My eyes lit up. God is telling the truth. At the end of the CA school, you can also recover. He crossed his arms laughing. Of course, rest assured that I will protect you. Why did he get you? You feel it's not enough to ask. It's just that. Your attitude surprised you, isn't it enough? You want to ask me to help you with your school? She quickly denied. Of course, I don't want to. The old man can help me suppress the guy's practice VI. Down to the same level with me, no. It's still a level below us. Nam-sun scratched his head and did not understand what she meant. Stifling to VI is SAO. The old man clasped the tiger's hand and said, the old man helped me to dominate the scenery. I want the main road to fight him. You hear Pisces? Nam-sun said quietly to the old man. I didn't hate the CASAO school that year. But the great elder just silently stroked deeply without answering. The old man said before you came. You don't know about that year. Maybe it's a little hidden. CA school tries to hide its ability. It seems to be a space endowment. Nam-sun was surprised to think. Goddess grace is strong, even though it is strong. But compared to space endowment, it's actually not equal. I said try us out. Why did the evil spirits appear? But on the outside, trying to be normal. He laughed. That's what you know. You know that man's suffering is good. The silent elder showed an extremely shocked face. Somewhere in the world, a bunch of people looking at the boats floating on the middle seam. Then we talk. I can't believe the original magic is burning. Didn't say anything that was blocked at the nest. I heard that I'm waiting for the owner of the CA school to arrive. GAC dance forever. The house is the most mysterious house in the world. They say it lasts for a long time. There's this extraordinary power if it explodes. You can't be strong in the fight. But it probably won't be much weaker. On the boat, the people of Tai Some Ghost Spear, folded hands, shouted. Old school CA master met the Vu people using holy air attack. This enemy can be solved. The people behind him called for the destruction of the nation. Kill his entire tribe right now. Stepping on a teenager in a crow. And asked in this defiant voice. NGHR see no shortage of bird owners. Ethnic dancer, GAC. The boy was so afraid to hear that he stuttered back. Tai Some Ghost Church, do you know what I have in common? You are waging war with my people. You raped people too badly to meet that retribution. He ignored the young man's words. He laughed and said, don't rush the owner. I haven't been to the theater or started yet. At the gate of the fairway, Yu Ming didn't just practice and complain. Based only on the spirit of writing. But if there's a leak here, it's hard to get more. Then she realized that something was coming out and breathed. This is the holy scene. Inside the shield, fod of the school. CA is made by magic. I looked outside and thought. This storm is finally unbearable. Outside, Moon Ming doesn't sweat or think. This is his real VI. Who was he targeting? Then the nightmare begins. Later, she was startled as she watched him walk out the gate. She chastised CA with ragged clothes, grumbling furiously at his mouth. You want to force me to die. Seeing you in such a situation makes you laugh. And you're shy. But afraid it won't be long before you get back to your thick face. Wax close to you and play. If you are not beautiful, just look. Early anyway, it's late to be your man. When she was teased by him, she blushed and threw his hand out. I want to get dressed quickly. Later, I tried to get back to the main point. The door will close soon. Just after opening it, Next time it won't be easy. Yumin didn't hear that, so she replied, "It doesn't matter anymore. No one knows you've ever had the right opinion. Except for her, no one knows this. Your words make your face pale. What does aesthetic mean?" She stammered, "Don't worry, I won't reveal this." Tried to look at CA. "This is like a snake bite. 15 ropes just now. I just really mean it." You reassure her. "What stress? Of course, I knew she wouldn't do that." Suddenly finished the vase you brought out. Out of the tunnel comes a blue air. It's all around you. The moon doesn't surprise you. This is elvish. The school turned its back and explained. This is an ancient waste for her. Don't think too much. It's like taking less money. Let me go. When you hear that, you wonder. This is because he risked bringing it back for me. The more you think, the more you regret it. If you didn't say that, it would be nice. You call out your name. Now watch out. When I hear you call, I answer. I asked if you were going to leave now or why. On a plane. There's a purple light landing there. Everyone on the boat saw who had just arrived, then shout out loud, "Missing owner." Miss CA smiled and thought, this power plus puppets. Enough to wipe out the fairies. I still have the power of my mother. Tyson Ghost Church. On that worship, your deadly thoughts continue to unfold. The human race wants to put us to death, then take you out as a warning. The cunning smile on your lips still blooms with thought. The old man must have come to the fairies. He still owes me a favor. So far, I don't know who it is. But we still have to figure out how he can help us. Then he screamed, "Order everyone to follow me into the land of the undead." A bunch of human beings flying in. Say your name in great anger. Of Chief CA. If they want to fight, they will fight. Take our missing master hostage. What does it count? Let our master go. When I finally heard that, I wondered. Lack of your master. People of Tyson Ghost quickly report mutant. The owner is this guy. He wants an explanation from the future. His code structure. Wu Haiyan was beaten for the body of the wild ghost, but still bitterness that shouted CA school. I want to avenge you. On the human side, I just heard his voice. Immediately call out to him. Dance missing master. The school quickly returned the owner to us. A smile of pleasure appears on your lips. Two people with brain loss are pretty good matches. Then give it back to you. You use magic power to lift the Haiyan. And then you put something on him. Then you threw him at the Kier. They panicked. Quickly pick up the missing master. The owner of his body suddenly glowed. And there are signs of breakage. A spirit in our body is rebelling hatefully. What did CA do to me? Braid name. You realize something and you panic. Don't let those people shape up. The body of the universe explodes. People of Tyson Ghost, if you see that, ask for the advice of the school. Lack of access to this country. I will bring you all the dancers. He replied softly, not yet. I have to give it to someone else. We should give them a chance. He laughed bloodthirsty and continued. If you don't even understand, let them kill each other. From your worship. There's 4 lights coming down. A floating island of the human race. In a corner, I don't know. The elder's men were silently watching him. Nam Sun could not help but feel. Not bad tricks like that. That's what the owner of the house should be. Even to the elders,